Well, I'm excited. I tell you what, to be able to go to postseason in any sports, but specifically in men's basketball, this is a great day. It's a great day to be a Husky. First off, I just want to make folks know that this is about student-athlete experience. As a former student-athlete, understanding what that means, to be able to go to postseason, to be able to have a certain level of experience in competition is everything for me. It's the number one reason why we go to postseason. The young men deserve this opportunity. I'm excited to be a part of the process. So that was job one when we took a look at possible options. Obviously, we wanted to reward this season. 21-12. Outstanding. It's the first time we've been able to do that in over 21 or 20 years. It was a major accomplishment, and we need to keep this momentum going. So that was the key issue. And again, the whole 20-year piece. It's a milestone. Coach Montgomery and staff, the student athletes, I'm really proud of them. There's some things that we had some adversity, some things that we had to do to get here, our seniors. It's good to be able to send them off in a positive way. So I'm really excited about that process. The other part about this tournament, which I really like a lot, we're going to be on TV, national television. It doesn't get any better than that. So we're going to be right in the mix day one on CBS Sports Network. Really excited about that. That's going to be a major piece for us. And then the destination of Las Vegas, At the end of the day, kind of bowl-like type atmosphere. I know that the Vegas 16 is really kind of touting themselves of having that location. I would agree. I think it's a great place. I know there's this home of 5 different conference tournament championships that are played there for basketball. It's going to be a great experience, day one. So that was also a part of it. All the events happening at a single site. That was very attractive. That format of going to a place, playing the tournament, playing the games all in one location without traveling around was really attractive. That format was really key to the final decision-making. It all going to be played at the Mandalay Bay, their convention center, a great facility. I've been there. It's going to be really exciting to be a part of that process. So that was also a part of it. And the other part of this, too, what the Vegas 16 has put out, the RPI, the teams in the RPI right now. You look at the Vegas 16, you look at some of the other conference tournament, postseason tournaments. We're talking about a 123 in the RPI and CBI 161 and CIT 168. So if you take a look at the quality of competition in our tournament, it's significant. There's folks in our tournament brackets that are going to be extremely competitive, and that was also a factor too. And I know that was filling out the bracket for the Vegas 16. The last part of this is probably the most important. We talked about the number of years since the last time we've gone to postseason play. Talked a little bit about the student-athlete experience. The other part of this is the funding model. We have NCAA dollars dedicated for postseason. There's no magic hat. There's no financial money tree in the backyard. We all know the constraints around resources, but the NCAA dedicates resources for postseason, and what we've done is we've dedicated those resources toward our postseason play here in men's basketball. We will do that across all of our sports. Our men's basketball program has deserved the right to do that. We have resources dedicated for that, and we're going to support them in this endeavor. So those are just some of the key points of this. Really excited about the guys that are here. It's been a great ride. Obviously, as seniors, I do not want to see them go. I want to win this thing. We're going to get after it. We're going to have a great experience. So having said that, I'll just leave it there. I don't know if we're going to do any questions from there.
We're going to go to Coach Montgomery to talk about the postseason tournament from the team perspective.
I know our team is really excited. You can kind of, they're anxiously waiting which tournament we're going to go to, and after we announced it yesterday, you can see big smiles on their faces. And it's like Sean said, it's a very, very competitive field. We start off with Santa Barbara. Coach Williams been there for 18-plus years. They've already played 11 teams that's playing in postseason. They've had a very, very competitive schedule. They played the likes of Cal, Oregon State, USC, South Dakota, Iona, Hawaii 3 times, and all those teams are going to the NCAA tournament. And they play 3 NIT teams, Washington, Akron, who's in our conference, and Long Beach State twice. And then they've played a few teams in the CBI and CIT, Omaha, Vermont, Seattle, CI team in their conference, UC Irvine. So kind of like echoing what Sean said, this is a quality field, and this is just Omaha. I'm sorry, this is just Santa Barbara. So it's going to be a very, very competitive games. You see Santa Barbara won their last 9 games before they lost in the conference tournament in the semis to Hawaii. They have 3 guys in double figures scores. An 18-point scorer in Bryson, a 13.8 scorer in Vincent and Green. So we've already kind of done our homework. We're excited. It's in one place. It's in a neutral site, great venue, Mandalay Bay. It's going to be great experience. Just getting the postseason is great experience. We still have a young team, and we get a chance to practice a couple more weeks, get a chance to do some team bonding, and then a chance to kind of redeem ourselves. This is kind of like a conference tournament / NCAA tournament feel. It's you have to win or your season's over. So I know we're going to be ready. I know we're excited.
We also have on the dais Travon Baker, Chuks, Iroegbu from our squad, 2 seniors, so they will take questions along with Sean and Coach Montgomery.
Monty, with it being a few weeks away, is the plan to have it a scouting report for all 8 kind of in these few weeks, or is it just focusing on Santa Barbara?
Well, that's going to be up to, our assistant coaches. They're going to get to work on it.
Yeah.
Coach JB, Jay Lara, and Coach Lou, they will all take 2 teams, break it down, and then, it's more work that goes in it to people think, but we're going to scout all 8. We're planning on being there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No different from our conference tournament. Only difference is we already had those other teams scouted. We will have a video breakdown. We have personnel. We have play edits for all teams. But the most important and the toughest game is usually your first game. And it's going to be quick turnaround, just like the conference tournament would be and just like the NCAA tournament would be. But we will scout all 8 teams.
What's the struggle with going 18 days between games?
I don't think it is a struggle. I think we're going to get after it these next 3 days, and then we're going to give our guys 3.5 days off, and then we start back school. And then we're in a regular work week where we get to 20 hours. They still get a break. But the thing now is we're just trying to make practices where it's competitive, where our guys can get better individually, and we'll still lift some weights and do some things. So I don't think it's a disadvantage. We're going to get a chance to watch other tournament games and get ourselves ready to play in postseason.
Is there any part of kind of playing for the MAC? You're the only MAC team in a group of mid-majors. Is there any part of playing for the MAC to show
Well, we want to represent our conference, just like OU wants to represent theirs in the CBI and Buffalo and NCAA tournament. No matter what, when you go to postseason, we're going to wear that MAC symbol proud, and we want to represent and show that why we were a top 10 RPI conference. So we want to do well. And like Sean said, this could help us and give us a big boost going into next season.
Question for the guys. Does it seem like the team understands the magnitude of NIU playing in the postseason? It's happened 4 times in school history. Or is it just okay, whatever?
For me and Chuks, it's probably more important because we've been here. Well, I've been here 4 years. Chuks been here 2 years. I don't know if Chuks ever been to a postseason play. I know I've never been, so I'm really excited. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to play. It might be different for the guys because it's their first year, and then they're still getting to go to postseason play in their first year, so they might be spoiled a little bit. But I know they still want to play. I know they still want to continue to compete on the court and keep hooping. So that's the most important thing.
It's definitely an exciting thing going to postseason. Just looking at the history, you haven't been there in 20 years. So it's time to start a new tradition and get things rolling. We want to make this an every year thing. So got to start somewhere, starting with this Vegas 16, their inaugural tournament. So we're just hoping that this starts us on a new track. And then for years to come, we'll be in postseason play every year.
Sean, you said you went to Mandalay Bay Arena before. Was that business or pleasure?
That was both. Yeah, it was actually on a wedding, and I will tell you that it is a first-rate facility. There's no question about it. The organizers of the Vegas 16, some big-time names, Jim Livengood, George Raveling, we got basketball people who know the game, the sport, understand tournaments. So, you know, folks did not have to nudge me on this. This was obviously it's a first, but at the end of the day, the organizers, the concept of it, the single site, providing that experience for our student athletes, it was key. It was a key determinant. Nothing against the CBI or the CIT. It was just where this lines up with the competition, you know, and I think that for us, it's about putting us in a situation. You know, we want to do it right. This is the first time in 20 years, so we want to make sure I get it right. There's some pressure there, right? You have to get after it. But the student athletes, the coaching staff deserve this opportunity. We're excited that we've had the finances and the ability to do it through the NCAA to make this happen.
Yeah, what, you kind of elaborate on, you said the NCAA, like the resources towards postseason?
So basically, the NCAA dedicates resources to support institutions to be able to provide resources toward a particular sport program. We've allocated those resources that we're receiving from the NCAA for postseason play. And that's not just for the men's basketball program. Gymnastics is a great example. They qualify student athletes to go play for the NCAA championships. What we do is we support that with those resources. So it's not dollars coming from the state, from donors, but they're actually because of our participation within the NCAA.
So did NIU have to pay anything as far as to play for this thing?
There's going to be some portion of that, but the resources, the $50,000 that goes toward the entrance fee, things of that nature, we will take it out of that particular fund, that NCAA fund.
Okay.
We don't know the expenses as we go through it to the dollar amount, but I'm quite sure that as things become clearer on what our expectations are, we do know that the initial payment for the actual tournament itself was covered by those particular resources by NCAA.
So would NIU just be paying for, I guess, like when you get there, just little things, or like what would NIU, if the payment's already made?
Well, it's very inclusive. One thing about the tournament, it's very inclusive with travel, the site itself, all the little extras. That's one thing about this tournament that I was really excited about. All that's factored into this particular payment. So that was an exciting piece as a cost center manager, someone who manages the financials. It was nice to be able to see that, you know, travel cost and, you know, site fees and to and from the airport, all those things, they add up. So when you take a look at hosting a particular postseason tournament, those things are not necessarily factored in. In this particular tournament, they are. And we're really excited about that.
I mean, there was kind of some rumors that the tournament was having some trouble doing kind of finding the field. Was there any fear that this thing would fall through?
I didn't. I had no fear. I did understanding the organizers that they were trying to put together a very competitive field, and they did that based on the RPI. So again, not trying to water down. That's a question that you have to probably talk to the Vegas 16 folks about. But what we saw was a deliberate attempt of attracting teams to this particular tournament that really did a body of work. You know, we're 21-12. If you take a look at the folks that are in the tournament, there's a significant amount of winning that went down. And I think that for us, we were just looking to see who we play. You know, that's what we needed to know. But as far as the tournament, I'd probably tell you to give them a call about what some of the things going through their mind.
The guys going to Vegas, is it a straight business trip, or do you want them to kind of enjoy?
Well, it's a combination trip. I mean, we're going to enjoy it. We're going to get out there, you know, a couple of days early. But then when it's time to lock in, is the word we use, we're going to lock into what we have to do. You know, it's no different from if you're in the NCAA tournament. All those trips, when you go postseason, it's a business trip. But, you know, we're going to Vegas. You know, we're going to take in a show or two, and we're going to do a little sightseeing. But we're there to compete and win a championship. You know, we say we want the student athletes to have an experience. We're going to make sure they have a student athlete experience.
Sean, we live in a win-now society where alumni and everybody expect instant success. You believed in Mark, you stood by him, and now that patience is paying off. Just describe how difficult it is to be an athletic director and with that kind of mentality, and how satisfying it is to see that your guy and this program is delivered.
Yeah, it's exciting, a lot of folks coming in, said, hey, take a look at your men's basketball program. You're going to be noted for someone who continues the football tradition, but you're really going to be noted for someone who supports the basketball programs, and that's both Coach Carlson and obviously Coach Montgomery. Coach Montgomery didn't sneak up on me, knowing him very well in his days at Michigan State, knowing Coach Izzo, so he was not a surprise when I landed here at NIU. Had nothing but faith in what he stands for, his recruiting, academically and athletically. So I'm just pleased for him. I'm also pleased for the student athletes that we've been able to attract here. They're great young men. I think for me now, it just kind of goes back to the validation of the fact that, the plan's working. We're going in the right direction. We got great momentum. It's evident by the outcomes. People judge you on outcomes, regardless of they're good or bad. At the end of the day, it's about outcomes. I think for our program, we're at that critical step. We need to take it to the next level. Winning does solve a lot of issues. But the one thing I like about the fact is we just don't win. We also win in the classroom, academically and athletically. And that's a testament to what the staff has done, and quite frankly, these young men have done. So I'm excited about it. Obviously we gave Mark an extension. That was good faith on the front end. I feel really comfortable in the move, and that we'll be able to move forward as we kind of go in the future with him. I'm excited about it because now we're actually seeing, and a lot of folks are jumping on board. Hey, jump on board. I got no problem with that. It's all good to show up. Our attendance is up over 50%, 56% to be exact. We're doing the things that are necessary to build those blocks for success in the future. And this tournament, this postseason play is indicative of that. So I'm excited about it.
And Mark, along those same lines, you went through the highs and the lows and a lot of low times. How satisfying is it for you to see that your stick-to-itiveness and staying true to what you believe is paying off for you?
It's kind of what Troy Baker said, those first couple of years were tough. But I had faith in my staff, had faith in the players that we're recruiting, had faith in this team that they work hard. They are good guys. They do the right things. We are graduating our student athletes. They're staying out of trouble, knock on wood. But, and it's what Sean said too, it's about results. This team got results. I'm glad they're getting rewarded. It is very gratifying and satisfying, but we still have a lot of work to do. And it starts with this tournament, and then it starts in the off season, and hopefully it continues on. No, it will continue on for next year.
Well, playing so many young guys, is this team slightly ahead of the schedule you envisioned for it, maybe? Or did you think this group was capable of 21 wins?
Well, I never put a number on it. I said if we work hard every day, we become better teammates. We share the basketball, we defend, we do the things to compete the right way. We have a chance to beat anyone, but at the same time lose anyone. On this season, I thought the momentum started in our exempt tournament, and then as you win and you get a taste of it, you can tell that our players wanted more. We played in a very, very competitive conference. 6 of the teams are going to postseason. 2 teams turned down postseasons for various reasons. So I think that, as Chuks said, we're looking to start something special here where this is the first year for postseason. We're going to raise the bar for next year, but we want to continue to play in postseason.
So how big of a, going to the postseason, how big of a recruiting tool is this in your toolbox now?
Well, they can't use it against us. They can't say NIU hasn't been to postseason in 20 years. That's not us now. We've started something. These guys are starting something. It always helps when you talk about a 20-win season and you're in postseason play. You can just see it when you're sitting in the student-athletes' homes. They want to play on TV. We have national TV games. We're going to have 3 in a row. National TV games are back on campus at NIU. CBS was here, that's big, that's big. So we're gonna use every advantage we can to sell this place, and ESPN, CBS kids student athletes want to play on TV, and we're back on TV now.
Is there any difference in having the season be 2 weeks physically, I guess, the bodies of the guys?
Well, that's a good question. You can ask the players. Physically, I'm ready. Mentally, I'm ready. My body feels great. So you can ask their body. We try to, like I said, shorten practices, keep it fresh. But I know my assistants are ready to roll. So you can ask Trey Baker that question. How's your body, Trey?
My body's pretty fine. I mean, we still got to go to treatment. We still got to get in the ice sub. So, I mean, our days off going to really help us with our body and our minds to get away from the game and then come back full go. I mean, it's probably going to be the best thing for us to continue with our bodies and continue hooping, not really taking days off after you hoop and then take a day off, then hoop again. But when we get that week straight, our bodies and our minds are going to get back to where it's supposed to be and get back focused.
How do you feel as far as just having a couple weeks of practice, as far as having a couple weeks between games?
I don't really understand.
Not starting until the 28th,
Yeah, like,
not
I
having
mean,
another
not
game
playing
now
in a
until.
game for a while, I guess.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I take it with us going to Vegas. That's what my mindset is. It's cool because I know we're going to be playing in Vegas and we still going to be playing the postseason. So I don't have no problem with it.